It's a battle that Janelle Ivana Ross fights every day, much tougher than the ones on the volleyball court at Norfolk State, where she was a star athlete, and more challenging than those years when she left school temporarily to come home to Cleveland Heights for the birth of her son. Because multiple sclerosis isn't something you game plan for. It comes out of nowhere and tries to take your body, and if you let it, your spirit. For Janelle, the battle started 15 years ago after she graduated from school. Life was going exactly as planned. She was coaching volleyball. She felt great until...
Come 2003, though, I remember like it was yesterday. It was September the 17th. On September 17th, I got really, really sick. Like a bad stomach virus, and probably the most sick I've ever been. To the point that I really only wanted to lay on the ground. I just felt so miserable. So I got better from that, but as I got better from that kind of illness, then certain things started happening to my body.
It took months for this finely tuned athlete to get an answer, but when she did, it was devastating, especially considering how the news was delivered in a letter.
I opened the mail, and it's this letter saying that the tests that we ran are consistent with you having MS. And it had a sad face emoji at the bottom. That was pretty damning for me. I was like totally crushed, crying all over the place, because you hear about this disease, but you don't really know what MS is. I just know that I have a disease, and I'm just scared out of my mind. So that was really a big blow for me.
The news hit her so hard, she did the one thing she now regrets. She all but shut down physically. Yeah, she was still coaching for a while, but she stopped believing that she could participate.
Probably the mental portion of MS that we never really talk about. So I was still playing volleyball, and like I said, things started changing. I wasn't the same player that I used to be, and because of that, people would talk about me. And instead of saying, forget what these people are saying and I'm gonna push through it, I kind of succumbed to that whole reality, and I stopped. What MS said is, okay, well, she's gonna stop fighting, so I'm just gonna take over your body.
So this proud athlete decided to fight back, changing her diet, her outlook, and her approach. She may not be able to run as she once did, but she believes that with these changes, she will. And while it will always be a daily battle, she's using it to help others. She plans on giving lectures, and she's writing a book.
Stronger Than is going to be the title of the book that I'm writing, because I am stronger than MS. You may be stronger than a battle that you're dealing with. So they're all related in some kind of way, but we have these struggles in life, and it's not for us to just succumb to the effects of it. You know, you have to kind of fight back, and you have to direct your own path. MS doesn't have to be a death sentence. There's ways that you can manage it, because when you find out that you have a disease, you have no idea what you're dealing with. I want to, at the end of the day, for people to look at me and see strength. That's my goal.
7 years. That's how long it's been since LaTuan Anderson, star football player, graduated from Glenville High School. 7 years is now what he's serving behind bars. On a tar-blooded team loaded with future NFL talent, Cardale Jones, Christian Bryant, Shane Wynn, Anderson may have been the best of the bunch, a phenomenal athlete with world-class speed. But while some of his former teammates now play on Sundays, Anderson sits here at the Lorain Correctional Institution, one of the top recruits in the country, now simply inmate number 690128. What happened?
You pretty much lose control. It's hard to be a kid and have all that attention and have everybody love you today and hate you tomorrow.
In a 1-month span in early 2016, Anderson, desperate for money, committed 3 armed robberies, one of them brutally violent, in which he held a loaded gun to a gas station clerk's head.
It was the pressure of going back and forth with my daughter's mother, and my kid needs this and she needs help doing this. You know, I was working the job. I actually had 2 jobs within that time.
What he didn't have, what he'd never had, was a solid foundation.
Ted Ginn Sr.
Ted Ginn Sr. has always been far more than a football coach. He's a life coach and sometimes a surrogate father for inner city kids. And he has hundreds of success stories. LaTuan Anderson is not one of them.
I only had him a year. Prior to me, football was number one to everybody else. To him, you understand? When he came to me, he was number one. But we gonna play football and we gonna run track, but I'm gonna work on you. And I didn't have enough time.
But there was a part of Anderson that Ginn could not reach. Laquan had the talent, but not the trust, and therefore never fully bought in.
Yeah, I have all this spotlight, but at the end of the day, who really care about who I am? Or do you really just care that I can score touchdowns? Because that's all I ever heard. You could be rich, you could never have to work again. What about my mental state? What about the fact that I don't even know who I am?
Eventually, Laquan did what he did best. He ran. He wanted to run to USC, his dream school, but his family felt that was too far away, so he ran to South Florida instead.
Never thought about any of that. I just thought about playing football at USC, that was it. So once I couldn't do that, you know, my dream was pretty much crushed. So I made up my mind, well, I just go somewhere where it's warm and I can have fun. And I decided to go to Miami.
He already been incarcerated into the world. He don't know, he locked up already. Locked up in his mind, he locked up in his life.
And so the spiral continued. He partied his way out of the University of Miami in one semester, bounced around a couple of community colleges, but nothing lasted. By 2014, Laquan had fathered a child and says the pressure of trying to provide while being ill-equipped to do so led him into a life of crime.
So it was just a lot of pressure of woulda, shoulda, coulda, but well, you know what, screw it. Sometimes people are afraid to fail, but I think I was more afraid that I would be too good at what I was doing.
The fastest 200-meter high school sprinter in the nation back in his day, Anderson now has nowhere to run, each day moving slower than the last. He's looking at 7 years in prison. By then, he'll be 32 years old, most of his life still in front of him. But is he confident he will choose the correct path, make better choices when he's free?
Right now, I'm better than I ever been. I can think clear, I see clear, I understand who I am, and I learned how to deal with the consequences of making the decision as a man, and whether it go right or it go wrong. I'm fine with everything that happened, because right now I can teach my little brother the right way to go.
And when he looks back, he sees what could have been.
I never really realized how much talent that I had until it was all over with.